whatever she decides next. Has the ability to impact an entire country in ways no one could ever imagine.
Buying Team Namibia is a choice you make for us, not just for you. Join the 2.5 million strong team that grows stronger with every single Team Namibia purchase. Team Namibia. Together, our future is brighter.
Good evening, much appreciated for joining us on the Thursday edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madiba. We commence tonight's bulletin in the courts. The long-running murder trial of American duo Marcus Thomas and Kevin Townsend came to a conclusion when they were earlier today handed prison terms of 30 and 29 years respectively in the Windhoek High Court. The two were found guilty on account of murder and were each slapped with a 27-year imprisonment term, with Thomas receiving a further jail term of 1 year on account of attempting to defeat or obstruct the course of justice. Ishmael Mukubonda was in attendance for the court proceedings and filed this report.
During the sentencing, Judge Christy Liebenberg found 39-year-old Marcus Thomas guilty on account of importing firearms without a permit and fined him 4,000 Namibian dollars or 1 year imprisonment, and guilty on account of attempting to defeat or obstruct the course of justice, of which 1 year prison sentence was handed. His co-accused 37-year-old Kevin Townsend was found guilty on the count of possession of firearms without a permit, of which Judge Liebenberg handed 1,000 Namibian dollars penalty or a 6-month imprisonment term. Furthermore, Judge Christy Liebenberg ordered that 2 years of the sentence imposed on count 2 to be served concurrently with the sentence imposed on the first count. Additionally, Judge Liebenberg noted that the term Section 10(6) of Act 7 of 1996, the pair are declared unfit to possess firearms for a period of 5 years. The judge noted this specific order to be effective upon the release date of the accused after they have served their sentences. Reporting for Primetime News, Ndamona Kanganjera.
From the courts to beyond our borders. President Dr. Hage Geingob paid a courtesy call to Jutta Urpilainen, European Commissioner for International Partnerships, during the EU-Namibia Business Forum 2023 held in Brussels, Belgium recently. During the courtesy visit, the President expressed gratitude to the EU for its ongoing interest in advancing Namibia's collaboration for mutual gain. The head of state further underlined the necessity of a green hydrogen collaboration that benefits both sides and stressed the significance of tackling the nation's youth unemployment rate. On her part, Urpilainen expressed her happiness with dialogue on potential collaboration and investment prospects in vital raw materials, particularly with green hydrogen. She also complimented President Geingob for not trying to seek an extension of his tenure in office, thereby maintaining and exemplifying both democracy and upholding the Constitution.
Namibia is going to one of the stars in Africa, I see it, given the new energy sources that we are discovering, the relationship that we have with you and others. I think the future is bright. Of course, unemployment is a bigger problem, and that's the youth unemployment.
Yes.
And that is because our success is becoming a problem. We said education is key, so we emphasize that. Therefore, education. And now people are educated, no jobs. Not many of them want to create their own jobs because it's difficult to start a job. So if we don't address that problem, all the good things I'm telling you will be wiped out. But also the rising up, because if they are unemployed, they can recognize anybody. So if we're doing a great job, you have your assistant or other countries, to create jobs.
There is this declaration between your government and the European Investment Bank for a 500 million euros framework loan, as well as technical and financial support from Team Europe to increase the capacity of the Green Hydrogen Implementation Authority. And then also we have this enabling new partnerships between the EU ports of Rotterdam and Antwerp-Bruges with the Namibian Port Authority for the development of the ports of Walvis Bay and Luderitz in Namibia. So I think these are just, some of examples of the very concrete projects which are already in the pipeline. We are focusing on early childhood education, which is of course very important, as well as vocational education and training in Namibia. And I think this skills development is of course very much also linked to this overall green hydrogen, critical raw materials.
On to a rather unfortunate incident. A family of 3 became homeless when the shack they resided in was engulfed in flames on Wednesday afternoon. The incident occurred in the Horegab informal settlement in the Samora Machel constituency. Our producer Lydia Pitiri produced this insert.
On arrival, we found a 5 by 5 meter informal dwelling. Most of the fire was already extinguished by the public. They prevented it from spreading to the next door shack, informal dwelling. On arrival, we just extinguished some of these hotspots that was still available. What transpired from understanding from the owner that's renting the informal dwelling, she was outside and she left the kids alone inside. And the kids are small, plus minus 3 to 5 years, and still not able to tell us what transpired exactly, what caused the fire at this stage. The shack totally, all the contents inside was totally destroyed by the fire, nothing left. So what we will do is now we will write the report, and then the owner of the informal dwelling can take the report to the necessary parties and maybe go seek for assistance, like a new bed or clothes, second-hand clothes, all those types of stuff. Yeah. It was difficult at first because we drove the wrong way, and then some people guided us to direct us to the correct place. So that's also that sometimes plays a role, like what will happen if we don't get the correct directions. 3 to 5 minutes is already lost again for us to arrive at the fire before the initial attack can begin. Yeah, what we suspect is if the children is normally left alone, it's either the candle with the light or they played with matches, but we cannot be assured of that at this stage.
Moving on. Information and Communication Technology Minister Dr. Payam Shilinga on Wednesday commended Namibia for winning the African Champion of Press Freedom Award, saying it confirms the government's commitment to freedom of expression and the press. Namibia was named the African Champion of Press Freedom during the 10th International Festival of Freedom of Expression and the Press, held in Burkina Faso's capital Ouagadougou last week.
Moshelenga said in the National Assembly that the award underscores the country's dedication to the ethos of freedom of expression and that of the press, which the government has guaranteed over the past years.
Namibia's steadfast support for open communication and a free press has not only strengthened our nation's democracy, but also positioned it as a model for many countries in Africa and beyond. Namibia recognizes the media as an essential component of democracy, ensuring that Namibia remains a beacon of media freedom in Africa. The government of Namibia's commitment to transparency and open communication is a matter of public record and has earned Namibia a reputation as a free and independent press environment. The government has implemented policies and practices that support media freedom. Last year, this parliament passed and the president signed into law the Access to Information Bill.
Moshelenga said Namibia's exemplary leadership is a beacon of hope for those who believe in the fundamental importance of free and responsible media in society. Reporting for Primetime News, Diana Kauta.
Stay tuned for the business segment. Welcome to Primetime Biz, your hub for all things business. In tonight's segment, we're in the coastal town of Swakopmund, where several fast food kiosk owners operating alongside the Swakopmund beach area have expressed dissatisfaction with the municipality's decision to relocate them, citing no consultation. During a stakeholders meeting with the municipality earlier today, the business owners accused council of acting on complaints from some community members before consulting with them on the matter. In an interview with Primetime Biz, Jackie Kaela, owner of Surf and Chicken located at the Mole Beach, voiced a concern, saying the municipality received complaints about the operations at the beach but could not communicate with them about the specifics.
Jackie Kaela explains that they received some letters from the municipality last year informing them that they would not be renewing their leases for the spaces they are renting from the end of February 2023 and that they would be needing to relocate to a new area. Kaela added that the municipality told them that there is someone who has been complaining, but they could not tell them what they were complaining about and instead referred them to their archives for minutes for the council meeting that took place.
Received applications for a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever for kiosks to stand at a certain spot near the beach, that sort of thing. And at the time there was no policy or any specific rules regarding kiosks. So we then decided to put a small paragraph into our property policy allowing the CEO to permit ad hoc applications. So, and then a few rules around it was that you weren't allowed more than 16 square meters, in other words 4 by 4 meters, and there was no permission to make food on site, no open fires, no public seating permitted at the site. So a whole number of rules were made around it for what we foresaw at that time.
The type of business that I operate depends on foot traffic at most, because I'm catering to, I'm just gonna call it what it is. I'm catering for the average person that cannot afford an expensive meal. As you can see what surrounds me here, there's a fancy hotel there, there are fancy apartments here, but the beach is here and everybody has access to it. I am catering for the person that cannot afford to live in those flats or in that hotel. Somebody that cannot afford to come here and buy an expensive meal. Somebody that cannot afford to call and make an appointment for a booking for a table at a restaurant. Somebody that just wants to have a decent meal and a good time with their kids and family at the beach. That is who I'm catering to. I'm talking about the people that walk from Mondesa, Matatura, everywhere to come to the beach and have a good time. I sell them ice cream, I sell them sweets, I sell them chicken at an affordable price. That's what I'm catering for. However, if I move to the tennis court, which is behind these barricades and the museum, those people don't even know there's a tennis court in Swakopmund. They have no idea what happens there. So how are they going to find me? That is just going to kill my business. Because the people that drive past the tennis court are people that know what tennis is and that are going to the hotel. They will not stop to buy food from a trailer. because they can afford to sit in a restaurant and buy the food in the restaurant. So this is just them trying to kill my business. Well, I think from the beginning, the municipality could have engaged with us, spoken to us about whatever these complaints are, so we come together and see and find an amicable solution to all of this. What they did is they received the complaints and then they issued us letters. And we were just in the dark. And also they issued us these letters just before peak season. The whole year we don't make much money because most residents cannot actually afford to eat out. We only make money in peak seasons. And this is on public holidays, and we make money during peak seasons, which is the public holidays and the normal holidays, your normal December holidays. So they issued us these letters in October, which was right before December. We're gearing up for, people from outside town coming in. And then all of a sudden, they're telling us we need to move. So we couldn't even react. Then, when the new year started, we got together as the business owners, and we wrote to them, asking them what exactly is happening, and also explaining the fact that we actually cater for a very important part of the community, those that cannot afford what everyone else offers. So had they engaged us, told us what the problem is, because as I stand right now, I have no idea what the problem is. I don't know, is it the way my trailer looks? What is it that's making whoever complain? So, yeah.
Stay tuned for your weather report. Welcome to Sport Planet, where brawn, grit and sweat are the order of the day. We kickstart the segment with boxing. Namibian lightweight boxer Jeremiah Low-Key Nakatila is ready to fight Ernesto Mercado on his 4th trip to the United States of America next month. The fight will take place on the 11th of November in California. Now, the Namibian, who is a former holder of the World Boxing Organization Global Super Featherweight title, has a record of 26 fights and 23 wins, with 19 of them being knockouts and 3 losses. In an interview with Sport Planet on Wednesday, Nakatila said the goal he has set for himself is to win his 2nd fight in the USA. On to some rugby. The Rugby Football Union says it is deeply disappointed with South African hooker Bongi Mbonambi being cleared of a racial slur and playing in Saturday's World Cup final. Mbonambi, the only specialist hooker in the Springbok squad, was alleged to have addressed the slur at England's Tom Curry in South Africa's 16-15 victory in the semi-final last week. However, having investigated Curry's claim that Mbonambi called him a white followed by an expletive, World Rugby earlier today declared the matter closed. Springbok head coach Jacques Nienaber said the issue had not affected him and the squad. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. This is where we leave it for tonight. Thanks for having tuned in. Another primetime news edition beckons tomorrow, so make sure to catch me. From myself, Michael Madimba, together with my zestful creative team behind the scenes. It's good night.